All right, we got to be Hero X versus S class hero is unfair. Not gonna hold you. I've been trying to watch. I think is this the one to be a hero. I've been trying to watch to be a hero X, bro, and then it was another one, bro. I couldn't never get a chance to watch them. I see clips and stuff. I think I saw no. I think I saw like probably 1 or 2 episodes, but then I'll be busy checking out other things and stuff. So let's just see this, bro. I've been wanting to check this out right here.
What does it cost to be a hero? Is it just strength, or is it the weight of the world's expectations, the hidden corruption behind the spotlight, or the personal sacrifice that never makes the headline? This is the central, brilliant tragedy explored in To Be Hero X, an anime that isn't just a show, it's a piece of raw, unfiltered art. And today, we're taking that fascinating, painful verse and throwing it into the ultimate gauntlet, the world of One Punch Man. We're going to power scale the top heroes from To Be Hero X's past and present and see if they can even hold a candle to the S-class heroes. And yes, To Be Hero X still hasn't ended yet, but I feel like the power—
Yeah, I'm saying, cause I still want to check this out. I still want to check that anime out, bro.
Scaling is already established.
And it was another anime I want to check out too. It was another one, but I forget what it called though.
To make these types of videos. Now before that, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for more of these types of videos. Thank you.
Now, I don't know too much about To Be a Hero X now. I gotta go check it out.
Trust and fear value. These two concepts are what determines the abilities and the strength of a hero. The more trust and hope the public feels towards an individual, the stronger he gets. And the more fear and despair a hero or any other character from the verse inflicts on the public, the more problematic he becomes. A very clear and simple power system, but gets very tricky at some situations. You see, we mentioned that your abilities would be shaped based on the belief of many individuals. So, if many think you can fly, you develop the ability to fly. However, this concept can sometimes be a hindrance, where a simple belief like the more smiles you have, the stronger you are would put a condition to your powers, but it doesn't need to be this way in the first place. Take Furman, example. He is bound by this visualization of a hero that remains ever standing, which literally made him incapable of bending his legs to lower himself even for simple situations. As for fear value, it seems like it only boosts an individual's strength by the cost of making them lose their minds. But nonetheless, the 22 episodes released so far has made it clear that just because you attain many trust values and be given a ranking number, that doesn't automatically mean you're stronger than those who ranks below.
Is this supposed to be Watchdog?
you. Otherwise, conducting tournaments would certainly be pointless. It's always up to how you use your abilities and how much training you already have. Isol was ranked number 9, but still defeated Ghostblade, who is ranked number 5, and Loli wasn't even ranked when she matched against Nice. The point is, these numbers don't reflect the strength of a hero. With that being said, let's now talk about how strong this verse really is. You see, at first glance, most of these characters can at least perform wall-to-building level feats. I mean, the very first episode, you literally see Nice dying merely by jumping from a building. In episode 22, where X makes an appearance, you can clearly see that Nice is trying to save him, thinking he didn't fall on purpose. But at the same episode, it's glaringly apparent that Nice is taking heavy punishment from Dragon Boy, who can put craters on the ground. Which leads us to the only explanation to the prior phenomenon, being that heroes can actually nerf themselves, as it wouldn't make any sense if it's not the case. Reasons I'm saying this is because Ling Ling, who has the same trust value and powers as Nice, was able to tank a multi-city block level explosion point blank. Now, if you bring Rek to the equation, who is the arch nemesis and villain rival of Nice, who has the ability to manipulate matter, you then would be able to see that he was capable of creating a construct of rock pillars that spawns even higher than the clouds. This level of creation feat scales from small town to city level of energy depending on how much distance you think he covered. There's actually a shot of Nice holding Queen, and at a far distance behind them you can still see a rock pillar. Now Rek has been seen moving and manipulating these creations as he pleases while fighting at the same time. So it's up to you to think if this creation feat should equate to his attack potency and durability, but for the sake of this video, we're going to assume that it actually does. This is very important to point point out, since most heroes are showcased to being relative to each other. Loli was able to match Nice's punch and even called it weak. Furman was later surpassed by Nice himself. Dragon Boy, who is relative to Smile, fought evenly with Nice. Shang-Di sent Nice to the alien ship's crash site to kill everyone, including Ghostblade and Little Johnny. Ghostblade and current Isol ended up fighting, and they don't seem to be that much far off from each other when it comes to the strength department, which means characters like Nice, Ghostblade, current Isol, Smile, Loli, Furman, and Dragon Boy all scale from small town to city level of AP. Now Lucky Cyan and Little Johnny don't really have any strength feats. Cyan is carried by her ability and Little Johnny is carried by Big Johnny, which brings us to the high tier heroes like Queen, Fair Boa, Big Johnny, and Vortex. So here's the thing, in Queen's fight against Boa, she performs this destructive attack that clears a large portion of a mountain. This attack continues to do damage off screen, and if you think this is vaporization, then you can get this from city to possibly mountain level of DC. This is considered a less significant attack compared to the one she used to end the fight, and Boa was still able to withstand it, which means they both scale to this level of DC. Big Johnny, however, is literally undefeated in the anime. Whenever he transforms, nobody really can stop him. And if you go by the anime's official website, it states that once Big Johnny goes berserk, only Little Johnny can stop him. Obviously, he can stop
That could be a problem right there.
him only through taming, as we've seen in episode 20 that Queen can also do the same thing. The point I'm trying to make here is that if you take the statement to be literal, then Big Johnny in terms of physical strength is unstoppable. Which brings us to Vortex, who was fighting the beast and was capable of slightly hurting him, given that he was an X at that time.
I believe the only person can stop that one is Blast, cause Blast got to use the portal and take him out, bro. If that is, but then again, what? Okay. I don't know. I think I see. Cause like I said, I haven't saw this anime right now. I haven't saw this. I don't think I saw like about 1 or 2 episodes. Never see it.
A title only given to the strongest, he should be within the high tiers of this verse. Now, the characters that I'm gonna be talking about now are, in my opinion, the strongest the verse has ever introduced, backed up by feats, statements, and the actual lore. These characters are OG Isol, Zero, and current X. And when I say OG Isol, I do mean the one who got defeated by Yang Chang, but that one is said to be rusty and doesn't care about trust value and rankings. The reason he is here is because in his promotional video, which is my favorite piece of To Be Hero X, he was shown to be the one who actually stopped Zero, fought with him on equal terms, and was able to deliver the final blow. You see, Zero has been a character that is heavily talked about in the anime. He's the very first hero created by Rock's father, said to have powers of a god. He's also the sole reason the Hero Commission affair was created, to regulate trust value for heroes to never reach Zero's level. Reasons this is happening is because Zero has seemingly turned evil and killed thousands of people, and just recently it was said that it took the combined effort of all heroes in the globe to eventually defeat him. Now we see his fight against OG Isol in the promotional video, and you can clearly deduce that the level these two has far exceeds what we've seen in the whole series. Isol ends up using this final attack that literally splits the clouds to stop him, and then it cuts to present time, which means anything we've seen in this verse, these two certainly heavily scales above it. Which takes us to current X, who is a very mysterious character with very mysterious origins. You see, remember when we said that trust value gives a character his ability and powers? Current X is literally unknown and nobody knows who he is and where he came from, and he is still currently the strongest in the verse. This character is so much stronger than everybody else that the Hero Commission has ordered to assassinate him since he is exhibiting godhood abilities. It's also worth noting that in the opening, X for a split second is shown to be Zero, which led a lot of people to theorize that X's powers are actually derived from Zero's trust and fear values. But nonetheless, it's very worth noting that we've never seen anything from him when it comes to the strength department, since he's literally defeating everybody in less than an instant. The inverse characters obviously don't know what's going on, but us
instant kill, bro. Killing on instant kill.
Watchers understand that this ability is called reality manipulation. By just flicking his fingers, X can bend reality to his will and basically do whatever he wants to the point of literally changing the animation.
Yeah, he might be a problem.
And see this on full display in his fight against the commission agents that were sent to kill him in his promotional video, where he completely toys with them with bending reality. A truly terrifying ability. The point is, X is regarded as the Gojo of this verse, who is the strongest in the entire series. Now,
yeah, I say he might be a problem, bro.
When it comes to this versus speed, you can be generous and grant almost every hero massively hypersonic plus speeds. That's only by comparing them to current Isol, who has lightning powers set to be lightning fast in his website's character profile. Now this could be hyperbolic, but there are two other feats that suggest otherwise. In terms of travel or running speed, Isol and Magic Shadow, who is his rival villain, were stated to being two individuals that no hero can keep up with. Pair this with the fact that Queen, without using her time stop ability, and Boa were both fighting in the sky while many containers they lifted prior remained frozen for a long time. This makes the idea of them being massively hypersonic plus much more digestible. Now many characters should scale to this speed. Ghostblade was able to match current Isol in terms of combat and reaction speed. Furman, who should be relative to nice, was able to fight against Queen in the first stages of the tournament. And Loli, Dragon Boy, and Smile are all relative to each other, which gives the impression that most heroes are within that speed, not in travel but in reaction and combat. OG Isol and Zero should either be on that level or far above, seeing how strong they are compared to this new generation of heroes, and you can scale X to this level of speed since he was literally toying with commission agents who were still able to react and fight against Loli. So for the sake of this video, we'll say that most of the verse is massively hypersonic plus. Now, when it comes to abilities, you can say that three characters stand out when it comes to Hack's abilities. We've already discussed the craziness behind X's capabilities, and there is Queen's rules, which creates an area where she can impose commands, and the most notable one is called Stop, which restricts all movement within that area. And finally, Cyan, who has a good luck ability that ensures a 100% win rate in Game of Chance. However, beyond this trio, other abilities are clearly more conventional. Dragon Boy's damage absorption can be overcome with sufficient force. Smile and Nice possesses super strength and can fly. Isol has extreme speed. Ghostblade is a master assassin. Big Johnny is a raw powerhouse, and Loli functions as the team's Iron Man. And with all of this being said, how can they deal with the S-class heroes?
I know they can easily take Puri out. Dang, what oh dang, I forget Big Boy man name here, bro. Come on, man. This is One Punch Man. I forget my character name. They ain't gonna take no zombie man out, bro. I'm just letting you know. Tank Top Man getting out too. Dark Shine probably just do it be enough for Dark Shine probably be the one that take him out. I don't know.
Now, the S-Class heroes are characters I've talked about many times before, and I'm sure many of my viewers are already familiar with how strong they are, and if you don't, just make sure to go and watch these videos. But nonetheless, it's pretty apparent that most of the S-Class heroes would be able to defeat any ranked hero from To Be Hero X easily due to the massive difference in strength and speed. Highballing some of these heroes based on Rex creation feat would only get them to town or city level max, and that's obviously a huge rank. A decent level indeed, but something that any of the S-Class heroes can individually deal with. First, Incineration Cannon from Genos and like Chapter 6 can do large town level damage, tanked by some demon level monsters that most of the low S-Class heroes can easily defeat. And even in terms of speed, the highest you can give them is massively hypersonic plus, based on Isol's performance and interpretation.
Oh yeah, Flashy Flag can easily like bliss that. Right?
And still vastly pale in comparison to the S-Class heroes who all have either equal or significantly higher speeds, which means Tank Top Master, Puri Puri Prisoner, Zombie Man, and Pig God can easily fight and possibly cripple ranking heroes like Nice, Smile, Dragon Boy, Loli, Isol, and Ghostblade. However, when talking about high tier characters like Queen, Boa, Vortex, and Big Johnny, who can be highball to mountain level, there's still nothing compared to heroes like Darkshine and Child Emperor.
I said Darkshine probably be enough.
Scales above someone like Carnage Kabuto, a being far stronger than Vaccine Man who should be mountain level in his transformed state, which means that you can confidently say that most of the verse wouldn't be able to go past Darkshine, let alone the top tiers like Silver Fang, Sunblade Atomic Samurai, and Flashy Flash. Zero and OG E-Soul, however, who are clearly stronger than anybody else, wouldn't be able to lift a candle to the high S-class heroes. Even with interpreting the Cloud Split to being an island to even country level attack, it still wouldn't be enough to deal with Flash or Silver Fang. Both of these heroes contended with a being comparable or stronger than Goketsu, who scales above a country level meteor. However, the Hero Affairs Commission still thought that Zero can bring the destruction of the world, which is a heavy statement that can be interpreted in many ways. Some would say that based on that statement, Zero should be considered planetary or something remotely close, which I feel like is very disingenuous since first, we do not know anything about Zero's powers so far, and two, destruction of the world could mean the extinction of humanity or something close. So for now, we can only safely scale him to the Cloud Split, which is something that many of the top tier S-class heroes can easily deal with. However, we've only been talking about the physical stats comparison and still didn't talk about their abilities. So here's the thing, the two notable abilities aside from the obvious are Queen's Rules and Cyan's Luck. Queen's ability within a limited area can be very troublesome against a lot of the S-class heroes if she issues a stop rule. However, you can clearly see that Boa was still able to slightly move, and I would like to believe that's because of her similar build in the strength department. There's absolutely nothing that suggests that Queen's ability doesn't follow the no limit fallacy. Could she really order someone orders of magnitude stronger like Darkshine, and even if she could, for how long? As a matter of fact, with prior knowledge and just sheer speed, any of the S-class heroes could easily blitz her before she even utters
Ball might be enough. Ball could definitely be enough.
the word, which is a similar thing that X did in the tournament. Cyan's Luck, however, is a cracked ability but seems to have some sort of limit, as she can still get tagged or blitzed before spreading her Lux particles, which means that this ability is surely not invincible, and if any of the S-class heroes get irritated by her particles, they would simply choose to close the distance and cripple her in no time. And to be frankly honest, every single one of these abilities gets completely shut down by Tatsumaki's telekinesis. She'd literally pin them all in place before they could even think. However, current X is a huge problem. I'm very confident that if he manages to flick his fingers, he'd be able to defeat every single S-class heroes quite easily. His ability is just too cracked, and it'd be very interesting to see how that would match up against someone like King, who either has infinite luck or reality manipulation. However, the only sure way to defeat X is to blitz him before he acts, which is something that any of the S-class heroes can surely do. The problem is that nobody really knows about that ability, and you can't even witness what it does to other heroes. Flashy Flash and Tatsumaki, who in character attack instantly, can stop him and defeat him before he uses it. But once it's activated, I'm confident that no S-class hero can deal with it except for possibly King or Blast. You see,
I say, like, I believe Blast can only one to get this guy. Blast probably can get this guy in King with his incredible luck.
the thing with King's theorized ability is that it only saves him from tough situations, but doesn't grant him the ability to fold characters like papers, change the animation, and turn people into wall painting. And Blast, being a technician when it comes to space and time, still didn't show any feats of resistance and ability of this scale. There's always the simple easy option of blitzing him, but if they don't know about it, he can just flick his finger and easily claim victory in an instant. The S-class heroes can toy with all heroes and easily defeat them. The only win con they have is X's reality manipulation. If not for that, the S-class heroes easily wins, and it's not even close. Thank you so much for watching this video.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't gonna hold you. That was a good one too, man. You already know. Link about the description now.